guys, welcome to the second part of this week's Coffin Hero Show, taking you through the single issues due into the store this week. This is everything going on the racks. There are, of course, maybe titles beyond what's in here. Pull lists are all complete. It was a relatively stress-free delivery this week in terms of anything being missing, things like that. But a busy one getting it all done, so this may be a quicker than normal one, just to pre-warn you. So, as ever, we will start off with the variants. So there's a lot of sort of second and third printing variants this week, as well as ones obviously for new releases as well. So first one up we have is a second printing variant cover by Sanford Green. This is for the Doom one-shot. This was a one-shot that was very much in demand when it came out. It was fetching silly money on the secondary market. So if you wanted to read the story written by Jonathan Hickman, art by Sanford Green, then we do have the second print covers in this week. Next up, a couple of amazing Spider-Man variants. So first of all, we have Tony Daniel doing the versus Aliens variants. These are obviously in honor of the upcoming Aliens versus Avengers title that is starting. As well as that, we also have a Gabriel Dell'Otto variant cover, which looks to be the first part of a connecting cover. So I'll keep an eye out for that and see if I can figure out where the second connecting is going to be. Next up, we have Transformers. So Transformers is definitely a big title this week. Issue 10 is hitting. So first of all, we've got the 1 to 25 retailer incentive variant by Ricardo Lopez Ortiz. We've got the connecting cover, the next part, by Karen S. Darbo. This is the 1 to 10 retailer incentive. And then we finish off then with Jorge Corona, who of course is the interior artist on Transformers now, doing the cover B. From there, again, we've got a couple of new printing variants. So first of all, we have Cobra Commander #1. This is the 4th printing variant cover by Miko Suyan. And then also this week sees the release of Duke, the 3rd printing variant for issue 3. And this one is done by Victor Bogdanovich. Another big title this week is definitely Star Wars Ahsoka. So we have a couple of variant covers here. So first of all, we have the Ken Lashley foil variant cover. And as well as that, we have the retailer incentive 1 to 10 art concept variant, showcasing Sabine Wren. Speaking of foil covers, we have Deadpool #1. This is a new facsimile that's out this week. So as well as having the traditional covers, which you'll see in a moment, we have the foil variant covers this week. Another big title is definitely The Ultimates #2. So we kick things off with the retailer incentive 1 to 25 variant cover by Terry Dodson. And as well as that, we have the Lee and Hugh variant cover for issue 2 as well. Next up, we have DC and we have Absolute Power Task Force 7. This is a new 7-issue tie-in miniseries to complement the main title. This is the variant by John Timms. It's part of a connecting variant cover across all the other titles. And as well as that, we also have the Dan Mora foil variant cover as well, which is absolutely gorgeous. Moving on from there, another of the big releases this week is undoubtedly X-Men. So X-Men #1 hitting this week. So we have a plethora of variants to accompany that as well. So we have the retailer incentive 1 to 25 variant cover by Comics Royalty, George Perez. We have the J. Scott Campbell Psylocke variant cover. We have the John Tyler Christopher Negative Space variant, this time showcasing magic. We have the X-Men logo variant cover for issue 1. There is the Peach Momoko variant cover as well. And we finish off then with the Tony S. Daniel variant cover for X-Men #1 as well. And then just a couple more variants to finish off with. We have a new title out this week, Death in the Family, Robin Lives. This is an alternate history for what if Jason Todd had have lived instead of everyone so cruelly voting to kill him off. So we have a Mike Mignola variant cover to go with that. We have the Jose Luis Garcia Lopez variant covers continuing. These are ones taken from the designs of the 90s style guide being put on the variant cover. So for Green Lantern #13. And then we finish off with Tales of the Teen Titans, the Judas Contract, part 1, which is issue 44, first appearance of Nightwing. This is the facsimile this week. We have the foil variants for that. So on to the comic side of things. So we kick things off with Ain't No Grave #3. It's been a great series so far by Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. Highly recommended. That's issue 3 this week. We have Bloodshot Unleashed. We're as far as issue 4 now for the Valiant book. This should have been out last week. We were short of copies, so it arrives this week. Next up is Deathstalker, which of course is Slash of Guns N' Roses fame presents Deathstalker. So Tim Seeley continuing on with this, issue 3. We have Geiger number 4 this week as well, so continuing on with the Ghost Machine stuff. Issue 4, Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, of course. Next up is Precious Metal. Love the first issue of this. It's from the world of Little Bird, of course. This is Darcy Van Poelgeest on writing duties, and the main draw of the issue for me, Ian Bertram's art is insane. Next up, we have the TMNT 40th Anniversary Comics Celebration. So an extra thick one-shot celebrating 40 years of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mentioned it already, but we have Transformers number 10. So Daniel Warren Johnson continuing to write and do covers. Jorge Corona on the interior art for that. Next up, we have the Whisper Queen, a Black Sand Tale. This is the Chip Zdarsky, Chris Anka book. This is issue 3, which I think is the last issue. I think we've still got 1 and 2 on the racks there as well if you're playing catch up. We move from there and on to Marvel. So first up, we have the Amazing Spider-Man number 53. So continuing on, Zeb Wells, Todd Nowak, and Ed McGuinness on art. We have the second part of Annihilation, 2099. So Steve Orlando continuing on this. Issue 2 is this week. We have New Avengers, which is a Blood Hunt tie-in. So Jed McKay, CF Villa continuing on with their Avengers stuff. Next one is a rather nice one, given that we had the pleasure of a visit from Mr. Scott Hanna, who of course is world-renowned inker on comics, artist in his own right, and is the inker on the John Romita Jr. stuff for Daredevil, Daredevil number 11. I'd mentioned it before, we have the Deadpool facsimile, number 1, so there's the foil, or we do have the traditional covers. Next up is Get Fury, whereas Far Now is issue 3. Garth Ennis, Jason Burrows continuing on with their thinly veiled disguise of a Punisher book under the guise of Nick Fury. Next up, Ghost Rider, Final Vengeance, or as far as issue 5, going to be a 6-issue mini-series before we move on to Ghost Riders, which looks awesome. Giant Size Silver Surfer, continuing the Giant Size 50th celebrations with my boy, Silver Surfer. Looking forward to that one myself, just always good one-and-done tales in the Giant Size format. We have the Incredible Hulk Blood Hunt, so this is a one-shot linked into the Blood Hunt storyline. Next up, we have Star Wars Ahsoka. I'd mentioned, of course, the variants in there at the start. So this is the traditional cover A done by David Nakayama. A big one this week is definitely the Ultimates, number 2. So Dennis Camp and Juan Progreri continuing on. I thought Ultimates number 1 was awesome. We do have a couple of Ultimates number 1 still up there. So again, if you're playing catch up, that's number 1 and number 2 in stock. Continuing on with the Blood Hunt side of things, we have Union Jack the Ripper, issue 3 of the mini-series tying into Blood Hunt. We have Wolverine Blood Hunt, number 3 as well, although this is going to be, I think, a 4-issue tie-in rather than 3 out this week. Undoubtedly, the big one this week is X-Men number 1, so From the Ashes, A New Beginning. Brand new number 1, what a team. Jed McKay, Rand Stegman, I mean, need I say more? Even I'm going to jump on that, and I'm not the biggest X-Men guy. And that finishes off the Marvel side of things. Then moving on to DC, we got copies back in of Absolute Power number 1. We were massively shorted last week on our issues, so we didn't really have it for the first week of release other than pull lists, because again, we'll always take care of pull lists first, but it's good now to have copies to put on the racks. First issue was so good, completely ad-free, gorgeous damn more art. I do think this is going to be a really, really good DC event. Next up, speaking of it, is Absolute Power Task Force 7. So this is issue 1 of 7. This is going to be the tie-in series that I was telling you about with the variant covers prior to that. Next up, we have Action Comics 1067. So this is not tied into Absolute Power in any way. This is its own thing. Gail Simone is writing this. Eddie Barrow's brilliant artist on that as well. So part of the Superman Superstars line. We have a new issue of Batman 89 Echoes. So we're at issue 3 of 6. Always seems to be a long wait between those issues for whatever reason. Next up, Batman and Robin number 11. So Joshua Williamson, Juan Ferreira continuing on with the father-son tale. We have Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age number 2. So Andy Diggle, Leandro Fernandez on that. And then just a couple to finish off for the week. We have 3 different titles. We have Definite Family Robin Lives, as stated by the variant, of course, before. That was really good fun. I read that last night. We have Green Lantern number 13, which is an Absolute Power tie-in. You will notice the banner at the top. And we finish off then with that facsimile for Tales of the Teen Titans number 44. First appearance of Nightwing, and look at those disco wings. So, yeah, that's everything going on to the racks this week in terms of new releases. You can check out our video before this, of course, for all of the new graphic novels in this week, collected editions and so forth. Just a quick reminder, we are closed on Friday, the joys of the 12th of July in this country, but we should be open either side of that as normal, open on the Thursday and open on the Saturday. So that's it, guys. Hope this proved useful. Hope you enjoyed it. It's always good keeping you guys up to date with everything that is coming out each week, and I look forward to seeing you in the store throughout the week. So until then, take it easy.